Today is April the 5th, 2006, and I'm going to visit with Mr. Charles O'Kelly, and he is going to tell me some of his experiences in World War II. Now give me your full name, Charles.
Charles William O'Kelly.
Okay, and
Named after my grandpa.
well,
Full name.
full name, okay. Where were you born?
At Rudy.
Okay, Rudy proper?
No, about 3.5 miles out of Rudy.
Okay,
81.
It's 81.
okay. What is your father's name?
It's Albert Henry O'Kelly.
Okay. What do you remember about your father? Can you describe him?
Yes, details. Well, he was a hard-working, strong-minded person. And as far as he was concerned, I don't guess he ever did any wrong.
Okay. Was he strict on you boys?
Yes, he was.
And you told me you remembered your grandfather.
Yes,
Okay, what about your grandmother on your dad's side?
I remember her.
What was her name? Do you know? That's okay if you can't remember.
I can't remember her name.
Okay. What is your mother's name? Her
Julia.
maiden name.
Julia Bowen.
Okay. And do you remember her parents?
I remember her dad, my granddad, and her wife even met him, these little bitty filler.
Okay.
And then some of her brothers, or one brother, well, I remember two of them, but one of them in particular, the other died pretty young, or in my life, he's young in my life. And, but Uncle John Bowen lived up there in Hogtown, I knew, growed up knowing him real well. We used to walk from 81 over there to pick strawberries for him when strawberries was in the season.
Okay, now that was Mr. John Hobbs?
John Bowen.
Bowen. I'm sorry.
He was an uncle.
He was your uncle.
Yeah.
And he raised strawberries and you helped him pick strawberries there in Hobtown.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you remember about your mother? Can you describe your mother?
Oh, my mother was a real short person, about 5 foot tall, always jolly, almost all the time,
Outgoing.
outgoing,
Okay.
and,
Which one of them do you think you took after, Charles?
well, that's my secret or that, on
Both
that.
of them.
Both of them. You got a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go to school there in Rudy?
Went to Rudy for 6 years, and then I went to Alma then.
Okay. Did you graduate from Alma School?
No, I went in the Navy before I graduated. I was a little
was
behind
18.
on going to school.
Okay. Tell me when you were born. We skipped that.
February the 2nd, 1925.
Okay. And so you graduated, you went into the service at 18 years old. Were you drafted, Charles?
No, I volunteered.
Oh, you are the very first person I have met who volunteered.
Well, I volunteered for 2 things, the Navy and then the Special Service, and which was wound up being part of the Navy. I didn't know I got it until after I got to Little Rock on the Navy. Went down there and stayed all night in the boys' club and everything. And then when they went up there, they sent us up in cars, compartment cars. 3 guys to an apartment. They sat in apartments in that car, and they sent myself and another guy from over here in Fort Smith, and the rest of them was up there in Bentonville.
Okay, but you stayed there and
Well, stayed there at Little Rock for three or 4 days, and then we started to wind up going to Williamsburg, Virginia, and take boot training there.
Okay,
He
and
took a
this,
test in, let me interrupt you just a minute. He took a test in Van Buren with the recruiter, and he told him he would like for him to go to Little Rock, that they would like for him to come and take a test for them. And when they did, they sent him a letter after that telling him that he would be in the CB Special Forces in the Navy.
okay, so that's the way you got into the CB Special Forces.
Yeah.
All right, now this is 1943, what month?
August 1943.
Okay, and how long were you in the special school?
Well, that school there lasted about 3 months. And then when that was over, that's when they sent me to that CB camp up there in Rhode Island.
Okay,
And that's where we went out there taking our gunnery practice and
okay.
all that things out there.
So in Rhode Island, you did the armory, gunnery
Yes.
practice there. But in the other school, what did you learn in the other school?
Well, it was just more or less marching and
Boot camp.
boot camp.
Okay, all right.
Run your tail off. 20-mile marches was short marches. Them, it didn't bother me. Of course, I was raised up there at Rudy, you know, and the only way of transportation we had was walking. And I used to run, where we lived, Rudy was 3.5 miles, and I'd run that down there in about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Run and dog trot, stuff like that.
So the boot camp wasn't hard for you
No,
then?
it wasn't. And it was, a lot of them complained about the food, but I had good food there. Because, see, I just raised on beans and potatoes that got in there, and I had stuff I never had before, you know, like I had apricots and about every day, and then, of course, all the milk you wanted to drink.
When you left there, when you got orders to leave there, what orders did you get
To
from the Rhode Island?
Rhode Island, well, they loaded a whole bunch of us. It's 106 CB battalions, Section 1, and we rode on the train all the way through, and they put us off at, put us on the siding out there, took them to New Mexico Art. Car, they just dropped it off. We sat out there for about 3 hours. And about starved death, we thought. It was getting around 1 o'clock, you know. And there was a lady come by selling tortillas, so we bought a bunch of them. And here they come with a whole bunch of bunches. We had it, and then we went over there and went to Shoemaker, California. That's up there by Tracy. And we got out of there and unloaded us on some buses and takes us out to that Camp Shoemaker there, and we marched all over them California hills for about 3 or 4 weeks. Then it moved us to Fort Hueneme. And that's where I got most of my training there, and then
What kind of training did they do there now?
just marching and
Okay, so they're still just marching you and teaching you how to fight.
Yeah.
Okay, but in the CBs, I thought it was more building of bridges and things like that.
Well, we went out to see what I was on was trucks, and I knew them
Oh, okay.
real well, so we went over to Santa Fe Island over there on the running dump trucks and bulldozers and all that over
Okay.
there.
But is this, what ship do you get on though when you get orders to go out in Pacific? Do you remember?
we went over on the Clare field.
Okay.
Uh,